Hi, I wanted to talk a little bit about my inner critic and kind of looking at it in a slightly different way than I have done in the past. A lot of us have that voice inside of us, that critic that can be really harsh, that we wouldn't ever speak in the same way to a friend, but to ourselves, we're very critical. We're kind of, why did you do that? Oh, you shouldn't have done that. Oh, whatever. And really criticize ourselves. But I've done quite a lot of work in different workshops and different training courses on, kind of really befriending some of these things that we do to ourselves, the negative patterns, the negative behaviours that come up, and in a sort of welcoming them and allowing them instead of trying to push them down or deny them or, push them away. If we can allow them to come up a little bit, they give us really good insights. We're not fighting them, we're welcoming them as part of ourselves that, became something that we put in place at some point to help us in a situation. And in doing that, with my inner critic and sort of reframing it a little bit, I kind of realised that actually how much the inner critic helped me to, do so well in my career, one, and two, also do so well in really being so determined to overcome any anxiety or sort of mental health issues or anything like that. I mean, I literally wouldn't let anything stop me. It didn't matter what it was. It was like, I'm not going to let this beat me. I'm not going to have anxiety. I'm not going to have depression. I'm not going to have this, that and the other or whatever. To the point perhaps that I did push all of them away, and it took me a little bit of time to untangle it all. But looking at it, that inner critic or that kind of real driver that was probably a bit harsh and a bit pushy, probably a bit too strong at times, but really, really helped me to power through some of that stuff, so whether it was, taking jobs that I was a bit scared to do and perhaps wasn't quite ready for, but just went for it anyway, but also to the mental health stuff, the emotional stuff, and just really not letting it, bring me down or stop me having what I wanted or stop me doing what I wanted. And it's really nice to kind of befriend those things, whether it's an inner critic or a, victimhood or, I don't know, something just really self-doubt or, negative Nelly type thing. But if you can kind of try and look at them in a kinder way and befriend them a bit and welcome them and allow them to come up, you can kind of see that also they might have had another use, and then you can start to put that to different use, or even kind of just reframe it a little bit or soften it. And I think that's what I've done. I've gone, oh, that's actually really, really great. It just wanted to protect me. It did not want me to have mental health issues. It didn't want me to be held back by anxiety or anything, any of those kind of negative things. And eventually I kind of moved through them. I just kept doing it because I was so determined and I was never going to be like that or like that, and push myself through it. And actually I can go, oh, well, thank you. Thank you for doing that. But I'm not going to do it in that way anymore. I've found a much kinder, progressive and easier way of doing this. A lot of the inner work we have to do can be quite, it can be uncomfortable enough at times without making ourselves feel really bad about it and criticising ourselves for doing it in the wrong way or just really pushing ourselves. We can try and do it in a more open, welcoming, kinder, expansive way if we just allow everything to come up and befriend it. There's skills and ways of doing it, obviously, because some of the stuff that we go into can be quite upsetting and traumatizing, and sometimes it's good to do that with a therapist or a coach, depending on what it is, or a friend. But reframing our inner gremlins and looking at them really kindly, as if to say, well, maybe you weren't all bad, inner critic. Maybe there was good in what you were trying to do. And then when you can find that, it's really much easier to be really gentle with yourself and gentle with that part of you. And then it's kind of, you can breathe a bit and the expansion comes a bit and it feels a bit more spacious and a bit lighter. Because you're not going, oh no, I've got this inner critic and I must get rid of it. And it's like, no, how about welcoming it and, giving it a, imaginary cuddle and kind of welcoming it and looking for the good in what it was doing. Maybe make it right, but just looking for the good motive. Because somewhere inside us, there is a really good motive. There's a good reason for doing that. So anyway, that really helped me, and it was quite fun to do after a while. So it did actually really help me. So maybe you could try that, especially if you have an inner critic or something else, negative Nelly or whatever it is, and just see where actually they might have just been trying to, or where they actually helped you in a way, and then you can pull that bit of gold out and work with that. But it might not work for everything, but it worked for me anyway, so I just thought I'd share that. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.